Today I'm here with Christian from TC Acoustics, Sonos's partner, exclusive partner in Southeast Asia. And why we are here today is because Sonos has just launched 2 new speakers.
That's right.
Christian, a little bit about the new speakers. Come on, I'm a big Sonos fan, and I've kitted my place with it, and it's always interesting, especially I'm not an audiophile, but I enjoy music. And it's always interesting to know what's happening within the audio space. Now, we've got the Era 100.
Era 100 and the Era 300.
All right. Is this the mark of a new era? Is that why it's called the era?
It's definitely the mark of a new era. We are now going into spatial audio, so that's why it's a new era, right? Era 300 and Era 100. And when I talk to you, you are really our Sonos power user. You have so many Sonos products at home, and you use it for so many different purposes. So you should definitely have both.
Well, yeah. Like I always say, it's not just about sound balance, it's also about bank balance, but we're going to come to that in a bit. So maybe a little bit about the Era 100 first.
Yeah.
First glance, it reminds me of the ones, right?
Yeah, that's
first glance ones.
True. Yeah,
right. So where does the 100 sit within that Sonos family?
So the 100, the Era 100, it's the width is kind of the same as the Sonos One, or many years ago the Play One, same width, but it's slightly higher and it's deeper. And what Sonos wanted to do here is we wanted to have a better sound quality. So there are now 2 tweeters inside here, and they are angled to give you a greater soundstage, a better stereo separation. And the woofer is 25% bigger, so you have more punch as well. Very important, because I use this at my bedside table, and I'm not a morning person. I need that bigger woofer to get me up in the morning, because this is going to play at 7 a.m. To wake me up. So, but hey, where does it fit into the whole Sonos portfolio? Even though it's bigger, it's still the right size to put it on a bookshelf, to put it on a credenza, put it somewhere where you don't really, you have some space left, you don't know what to put there, it's definitely going to fit in. But here in Singapore also, people have started to collect vinyls again. And sometimes young people don't own their own home yet, but they can always negotiate for a space for a vinyl player at home, right? And now with this new product, you have a line in, and we've actually set it up perfectly with a vinyl player. And if you have a vinyl collection, it can even be your speaker for your vinyl collection, because you don't have the whole house to yourself. It's your parents' house, but hey, you can put this with your vinyl player in your room or in a corner that you have got. So it's a very versatile speaker. Even works for surrounds. When your friends come over, that's one thing that is new about both of them. And you will look at me like that's not really an innovation, but hey, it is for Sonos, because we finally have Bluetooth inside of them. So Bluetooth, so if your friends come over, they can just connect, play their favorite playlists. So that's really where this speaker fits in.
I know you said that Bluetooth is not an innovation, but I wouldn't call myself a power user, but I have used Sonos enough. And one of my biggest pet peeves about the Sonos system is the fact that it does not have Bluetooth. And the reason being, so I play a lot of board games, and we do a lot of board game reviews on justsaying.ASIA as well. And one of those things that you've realized that I like to have people over, and there's so many app-based or app-driven, app-supported board games out there that run the soundtracks. And I just couldn't connect that to my Sonos in an easy way, because the system's there, but I still want that ambience. So what I have to do is screencast it from my app to the TV, and then it gets locked onto the rest of the system.
Power user.
Yeah. Yeah. I just go through, a lot of hurdles to get things done. But I like the fact that now there is Bluetooth. I think while it's not new innovation, it's something that needed to be there. It should have been there a long time ago, right, in my opinion, but it's there now. So that's fantastic. Now, a little bit now about the one that really blew my mind. So I had the opportunity to listen to both earlier on. We're not going to do a sound test here because, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You're going to hear it on what you hear it. I would advise that you go down in person to hear these speakers yourselves, and we're going to talk about availability in a bit. But the 300, the Era 300, now, spatial audio.
Spatial audio, that's right. So audio really has been going through many transformations with better computers and processors. What speakers can deliver has gone to a whole new dimension. It all started with mono, event to stereo, and now we are at spatial audio. Dolby Atmos is one form of spatial audio, and spatial audio is really, yeah, it's a whole new dimension of audio. Stereo is very clear, it's left and right, but then when you hear a spatial track, you're literally feeling like you're in the midst of the concert, like the singer is right in front of you. And that's the effect of this spatial audio. That it's not like, stereo, you gotta sit at the right place to hear the stereo. But for your spatial, you can sit anywhere in your room and you will still get that whole spatial effect. Should I talk a little bit about this thing here that is delivering this spatial audio?
Definitely. Love the
Okay.
design. A little bit about the design.
So when we first saw the design, we thought like it's very odd, right? It's like shaped like an hourglass, and we understood finally once we were briefed on, hey, this is the purpose and the design behind it. That is because there are speakers, tweeters, and woofers at the side. There is an upward firing speaker here as well. We have a front speaker, so this makes perfect sense. You can put this in the middle of your room, and all these tweeters and woofers firing together will make sure that you have a spatial audio experience. Now, the benefit of this is that if you use this, and this is the only speaker that can be a speaker for casual or intense listening, but it can also be a surround speaker for the ARC, the soundbar. I'll talk more about this later.
Yeah.
But spatial audio, what it does for the artist, it allows the artist to have a more precise listening experience. So if the artist wanted the drums to be somewhere here and the fans cheering somewhere in front, with spatial audio, they are able to do that a lot more precise.
Right.
So when you listen, it's a beautiful experience because it's not just coming from the front, but it's coming from everywhere. So that's a huge advantage of this. And I'm sure when you play your board games, they will add a whole new dimension to you playing board games.
The sound from this is amazing. It completely fills the room. Does it replace the arc?
No, it complements the ARC.
Yeah.
So you can use this at your home, right? So if you have the ARC, which is a soundbar, sits with your TV, the ARC is already Atmos spatial audio enabled. And what you can do with this beautiful piece, you can actually use it as a rear speaker, and it then perfectly complements the ARC. So we were putting this up, setting it up, and watching a clip or a movie, and we watched the James Bond movie, the recent one, and there's one scene where he's in this town, in the town square, in his bulletproof car, surrounded by terrorists, and when you watch this, once they start shooting at him, the camera goes inside the car, and it's really intense. It's like when you look at your Apple Watch, your heart rate literally goes up because it's an intense moment, because the bullets are literally coming from everywhere. You feel like, oh, one guy is shooting at me from the back and from the front. So it's like how what I described for the artist, the song, the movie makers is very precise on where you hear a sound, and it makes the whole experience very immersive and intense.
Well, I have the ones at home, for the surround sound, and I think this definitely does increase that soundstage.
Yes.
So much wider. Well, for more details on the two speakers, you can check out, of course, Just Saying, JustSaying.ASIA on the site. We've got on the entire spec list as well as basically what they can do. But one of the more important questions, when can we get them?
All right, so general availability in the stores is 28th of March. But you can already go and do pre-orders on our website, tcacoustic.asia. And hey, if you're not sure about this product after our introduction, you should be quite sure. But if you're not sure, you can also go to TC Acoustic at Adelphi, and you can actually test this. We only got like 1 or 2 media units, but after this, once you're seeing this, this product is at our flagship store at Adelphi.
Right, fantastic. Thank you very much, Christian. And I really do feel these two speakers do add that something extra. And that's a little bit something extra more plus. I love it. So if you have the opportunity, do go down, look out for DC Acoustics, find out where you can listen to this and how it fits within your home space or your office space or your workspace. Today, they're all one space. And you know what? Check out our next episode on Just Saying Asia and read the article for the full spec list. Thank you very much, Christian.
Right, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Right.